Hi beautiful you, it's great having you back at another Magic Within video. I'd like to talk about death today and what it can teach you about life. And I totally understand if you're thinking, why on earth does she want to talk about death? It's something scary, so why do you even want to think about it? I totally get that, because I used to avoid that topic too, because death was actually one of my biggest fears in life. But I've learned that if you accept death, it becomes the doorway to freedom, and it also teaches you how to feel free and happy in your life. The fear of death is actually connected to the need of controlling life. And maybe you recognize yourself in the following: you need to control everything in your life, otherwise it's not going to happen and your life's going to fall apart. So you need to control your relationships, whether it's an intimate relationship with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or a relationship with your friends, or your job, your children. You feel like you just have to control everything, and that feeling of controlling gives you a feeling of safety and security. I've read a book which it's called Being Naked, which is written by Frans Bakker. He's Dutch, and a passage in his book really taught me that, or helped me to release my fear of death, and also releasing the control of life. And in this passage, Frans is guiding an older woman named Martha on her deathbed. Martha, you're going to die, really. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen soon. There's only one thing you can do: accept it and let it happen. Resistance will not help. You can cooperate with the process. You have to. I'm surprised I can say this with such conviction. It's spontaneous. I don't think about what I'm saying. We look at each other intently, and then our eyes wander off. I detect Martha is going through some kind of process. She's not ready to accept it yet, that's clear. Then her eyes fixate on mine. It seems like the eyes are smiling. She looks at me with great clarity, no more confusion. And then she shakes her head gently. How is it possible? The eyes seem to say. I receive news about my death, but I understand it. Also, my life comes to an end, and no one can do anything about it. Not even me. Nothing. Nothing. Finally, no control. It's not necessary anymore. It's done. What a relief. No more struggling. Surrender. Yes, surrender. Her hands move to mine. She grabs it and squeezes it gently. Her eyes still fixated on mine. Her head gently shaking in disbelief. How is it possible? I'm going to die, and I'm happy. The eyes are telling me. I'm so happy you came to tell me this. This passage really moved me, because it taught me that death can go in hand with happiness, and it's not necessarily associated with pain or with sadness or with fear. And the old woman really taught me that controlling life is actually resisting life, so resisting to what is, so also resistance to my biggest fear, which was death. So I said out loud to myself, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And when I realized I was really going to die, and I accepted that fact, a wave of relief came over me. And the fear of death disappeared, and with that also the need to control life, because I felt that I don't need to control life. I can trust it, I can surrender to it. And I cannot lose life, because I am life. And with that, my view on death totally changed, because death is not the opposite of life, but death is the opposite of birth. You're born into this world and you die. So expansion of form, because you're born into this world as a little baby, and when you die, the form just falls apart. And that form is not really you, that's not your essence. And conscious teacher Eckhart Tolle states that death actually means that everything is taken away from you, which is not you. I think that's a very beautiful statement. I like to end this video with a quote from Barry Long. In the game of the living, the rule is everyone dies. You win by finding death before it finds you, and the prize is life. So I invite you to have a look at your view on death. Are you scared of it, or maybe you're not? But if you're scared of it, see where that fear comes from. Maybe it comes from your need to control life. And as I said before, you can't control the death, it's inevitable. And maybe that fear comes from the fact that you can't control it and that you have to surrender to it. So try if you can see that you can accept death, and with that you can release all the fears which have been blocking you to feel free and happy in your life. If you want, you can share your insights below the video. I'd love to read them, and I'm definitely gonna have a response to them. And if you have any questions, you can send an email to katinka@magicwithin.coach. I hope this video inspired you to feel free and happy in your life, and I see you at my next video. The big question in the search of your purpose in life is, where does your purpose in life come from? Does it come from yourself, from within?